What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome back to another YouTube video. And the first video, well, I actually don't know what I'm gonna talk about, bro. I literally just opened this camera. I like the background. I'm like, hey, I want to film a YouTube video. Should be like a little off-centered. What are we talking about today? Okay, today's video, we're gonna talk about how you can start making money online and the steps that you could take to start making money online. And this is a really crucial step. And if you're a boy watching this, I don't know if there's any girls watching this, but if you're a boy watching this, everyone's been to that stage in life where they're like, man, like I want to make money online doing something I like to do. I don't want to listen to other people. I don't want to work for somebody. I don't want to work like a regular job. I want to start doing something I like. So a lot of you guys pick up trading, maybe drop shipping, e-commerce. I guess what I do, SMMA. A lot of people are doing AI automation now. You're just doing something to make money, but like, why are you doing it in the first place, right? It's to make money, but how can you flip that into making it something you love? And I feel a lot of people who start making money online or are trying to make money online, they tend to, their entire goal is just to make money online instead of chasing something they actually love, And that's why a lot of people tend to fall off because, for me, I do SMMA and like I'm a trader and not profitable, but I'm on the way to that stage. I've been trading for almost about a year now. And for me, it's like, at the beginning, like I realized I was chasing a lot of it for money. I just want to make a quick buck here, get rich quick, thinking I was going to have all this cool jewelry, and stuff like that. But along the way, you realize your journey is more about learning and, learning, understanding yourself a little bit more and like seeing actually like if you actually love doing what you do, I guess for backstory, I tried reselling shoes for a while. And I had a passion for shoes. Like at the era I was like maybe 14, 15. Like shoes were popping back then. Like, those Nike Dunks, Pandas were popping, Yeezys were popping. And like I tried reselling all that stuff. And I really liked doing it. But again, like I was making it for a quick money. And I couldn't tell you right now like where that money is at. I have no clue where that resale money went. But I got back into the e-commerce space, literally about a year ago, like maybe a year ago in February. And I did it because like, hey, like I saw clothing brands, like, scaling brands. And I was like, cool, I want to make a quick buck. Like, let's do it. So got a mentorship, started learning online. And I think I was, more focused on learning about how to actually, not learning, but like, I was more focused on trying to make more money online than actually learning the valuable skill that could actually, change my life forever, which it did, Although I'm not at the point where I'm making, 20K consistently, 50K consistently a month. I'm at the point where like, okay, I understand what I have to do now. I love what I do. I like putting in this work. How can I make money out of this? And then once you love what you do, you can make money off of anything. If what you love to do is play sports, you can make money off of playing sports. If what you love is create content, you can make money off doing content with brand deals and stuff. And there's just like an infinite limit of like what you can do of doing something that you love. And I feel like a lot of people miss that point because they go into these business models straight to the point of just making money than rather doing it for, their love for it. Another thing about business is that when you get into a business, you got to put yourself first, well, put yourself second. I don't know if you guys are religious, but put your trust in God. God should always be number one, putting your faith in him and trusting in his plan should be the number one thing you guys should do because, without him, none of this is actually possible. Number two is put yourself first, right? Don't put yourself last and you put all your friends before you, your family, and they're telling you, hey, don't do this, don't do that. Your girlfriend's yelling at you saying like, bro, you spend so much time on your computer. You don't spend time with me. Like what you're doing isn't going to work out. Just spend time with me. Or your friends are like, bro, just come out with us. Come do this with us, bro. Like stop doing that online shit. It's not going to work. They just don't understand, right? And they don't understand that me and you are different. We weren't born to just, work a regular 9 to 5. We're born as entrepreneurs. And what does that mean? Is that we take care of ourselves, We're inventors, bro. Like, we're genuinely inventors, bro. Like, we invent what we want to do with our own lives. And a part of that is a lot of people stop chasing their goals and dreams because they hear a lot of the stuff coming from behind them. And they're like, hey, don't do this because I'm not doing it. Or, hey, bro, like, you're up here right now, bro. Like, come down with us. Like, get down from there and, come back to living this normal life where we're going clubbing, we're going to frat parties, we're drinking on the weekends, right? And all of that is chill, right? But like, are you really satisfied with the way you're living right now? Is your main goal to go out on a weekend and party, looking forward to a Saturday? Or is your main goal looking forward to a Saturday where you can, spend all that time working on something you love, looking forward to a Saturday where you get a payout, looking forward to a Saturday where, you create more content like this. Today's Friday at 3 p.m. and I literally just finished college, or I finished my first semester yesterday. I could be hanging out with my friends right now, but instead I'm making this YouTube video for you guys, right? So I have my priorities straight, and you guys should too. Always keep your main goals in front of you, and never let anybody else like stop you from actually reaching those goals because they don't like what you're doing and they want to bring you back to like their surface level. Third thing in business, I talked about money, I talked about friends. I think not listening to other people is the most important thing because when I first started, if I listened to my friends, I'd be walking around school and people were like, yo, I saw your TikTok video yesterday. I'm like, oh, cool. Did you like it? Like, oh, I didn't even like it. I just scrolled past it. A lot of my friends told me like, yo, why don't you go out with us? You barely hang out with us. There was a time period where like I was really, really focused. And I didn't want to do anything except like, work, make money here, make money that, really grind it out. And they're like, yo, why don't you hang out with us? Why don't you come to the party today? Why do you leave early? You don't answer your phone anymore. You're just doing things that aren't normal to us. And like they're just like, bro, just stop doing all that. Make time for your friends. I literally specifically remember one day, one of my closest friends, I was walking to like Spanish class or something in high school, and he was like, bro, like I get what you're doing is great and all, bro, but keep hanging out with us, bro. You just forget about us, bro. You just left us back there. You don't hang out with us anymore. You don't go out with us anymore. And they just don't understand, like when you have different priorities in life, like you put that number one because, bro, like that should be number one because we are in the generation of the richest teenagers. Like I've talked to my dad before about this, and like at his age, people were just bus boys. They were literally putting the fries in the bag at Mickey D's. Like they were doing other stuff different from us, and we're in a generation where we have so many opportunities, so many softwares, so many things that could help us become successful at a young age that I feel like a lot of us aren't taking advantage of. And like imagine if everyone started doing this, right? It's not for everybody, it's for a specific group of people that I'm talking to right now that really want to make it in the online space. And that kind of leads me to my last point, which actually leads up perfectly, is preserving your capital. You see a lot of these people make money online, like they can be mentors, influencers, and they just spend it. They buy themselves an SVJ, they buy themselves a GT3RS, crazy watches, crazy chains, like all that is great, guys, but come on, guys. Like those guys, yes, they're making money off what they do, but they also sell a really good program. So they're having that monthly income, come in higher. And that's why the reason why they buy all this stuff is to promote the program. No hate against them because I have a program too. Obviously, it's really low ticket right now because a lot of you guys don't know me. But, eventually I'm looking forward to scaling that program up with the more information I add to it. But don't let yourself, don't deceive yourself from what you see online. You see bro over there with an SVJ, and what does he do? Oh, he's a trader. Okay, so let me become a trader now because I want to get an SVJ. And that ties back into actually loving what you do. Don't do it for the money. Do it for the love that you have. Another thing is, again, going back to preserving your capital. When you have all this online money that comes in really, really quick, that can be taken away as fast as you got, in the blink of an eye. So what I want you guys to really think about is, stop thinking about the short-term run. Think about long-term. How can you keep these profits and multiply it, as you grow? Because remember, you guys, your lifespan isn't going to be 18 to 23, right? Your lifespan is like 18 to 70, 80, 90 even, You have a long life ahead of you and you have people to take care of. You're going to have a family soon, you're going to have kids soon. So why are you going to blow all that money on a stupid car, some stupid chains that aren't going to really appreciate for you? They're not assets, The first thing I'm going to do is when I start making a lot of money where I'm like comfortably like, okay, I can start investing realistically. Like I already do S&P, NASDAQ. I invest in stocks and stuff like that, right? And what do you call it? Options. I don't know, whatever. You guys know what I mean. I invest in long-term investments. But also what I want to do is get into stuff and get into a lot of assets, like real estate, maybe even crypto, start different businesses, like a car business, vending machines, right? Just think of other ways. How can I make this more money, right? So I get a paycheck or I get paid $3,000 from one client, right? So instead of blowing this $3,000 on a Chrome Hearts shirt, on a Chrome Hearts jacket, on some Balenci, how can I preserve this $3K, save it towards my future, put it towards my future, right? Okay, let me invest 50% of this. Okay, let me put $1,500 away. My other $1,500, let me go see if I can start a business. Let me go see if I can go create something, right? How are you gonna turn that $3K and multiply it over the years? And that might be a bad example for some of you guys, but you guys get the gist of it, right? Really preserving your capital because we aren't like those people that are doing exceptionally good for themselves. They're buying cars every other month. They're buying new stuff, clothes, and we will get to that point, right? But everything is better when you're humble, right? I'm not saying these guys aren't humble. They made their millions. They did great in life. They did good for themselves. Like I'm proud of them. Really good. I look up to a lot of them. But just don't think that me and you are literally exactly like them, right? We're all in a different path in life. And the best choice for us as young entrepreneurs at such a young age, I mean, I'm 19 right now, maybe some of you guys are 17, 18, 19, maybe even a little older, just preserve capital, put into stuff that multiplies it, like assets. And you guys will see that it's better to be wealthy than rich. There's two different things, being wealthy and rich. Rich is having the money for a short run term. You're blowing it on all these expensive things. You're buying tables, you're buying expensive clothes, jewelry, watches, vehicles. And wealthy is people who don't even have a dollar to the name, and all their money is in assets. And that money that are in assets are making passive income by the month. They're making triple their money by the month simply for putting into things that actually multiply their value, right? So you want to think like a wealthy person, right? Another thing I recommend is getting into books. I mean, one of my favorite books is obviously the Bible. It teaches you a lot about becoming a person, how to stay away from sin and that temptation of, going out with your friends here, or, build yourself up a little bit. There's a lot of things that the Bible tells us that are really good for entrepreneurs, I think. And, it's a great book. There's a bunch of other books that you guys should read about, being a businessman, excelling in life. I don't have any on the top of my head. So like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Trading in the Zone is really good. But there's definitely books. Get into reading, really just level yourself up. And the last thing I'll leave you guys with is, have a specific schedule for you guys. Wake up early, take a shower in the morning, get to work early. Before you guys go do anything fun with your friends, is that go watch a movie, hang out with them, even go out, I guess. Make sure you got everything done for the day, right? Set yourself a goal. It's like, okay, I'm only going to go out if I do task A, B, C, D, E, etc. If I hit all these, then I'll be satisfied with myself when I go. Then you repeat, stay sober to yourself, make sure you can control yourself. So the next day, wake up early again and repeat that schedule, right? Once you include this repetition in your daily schedule, you guys are going to level up way, way more. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram at Ethan Manolo, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video if you guys want more content like this. I believe in every single one of you guys watching this video. I know you guys all have a bright future for yourselves, and just keep hustling, man. Keep putting your head down, keep going full at it, and I promise you guys that it's gonna come soon. It won't come tomorrow night. It won't come next month, the next couple of months, but it's gonna come soon. And I promise you guys will be successful young, because each of you guys watched through this entire video, got to this point, and I know you guys really want this bad. So again, love and appreciate you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend.